All right, y'all, it's lit. It is lit up in here because, yeah, I'm about to give you my Captain Marvel review. And yeah, this movie just came out, just saw it today, and I just wanted to give you what I thought about it. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. Captain Marvel is a movie that I very much liked. I really had fun with it. And I thought it was, yeah, a pretty good film inside the MCU universe. And I just really liked that it was a distinct origin story that was different than most other origins. Like, I mean, it's very different from Iron Man or like Captain America's origin story or Thor. Well, Thor, yeah, Thor was an origin story too. But yeah, and yeah, that's what I really liked about it. But I think even with that came flaws because it does have like a different nature to it because it opens up, they kind of throw you right into it, and her like origin kind of unravels like as the movie goes along. So I thought I liked that about it, but also there were flaws about it. There was some underwritten stuff about it, and I'd probably get into that. Actually, I'll probably get into that first and get in the cons first before I get into the good stuff about this movie. So yeah, let's go into it. The underwritten elements of this movie. I mean, there are a lot of underwritten elements, especially the characters, like the Star Force characters, of course, where she's first at before she comes back to Earth. And I thought like some of the characters were underwritten, like Jude Law's character, which is I forgot Jan. Yeah, what was his name? I forgot his name. I'll probably put it up here in the video, like right here. But it was Jan something. I forgot his full name. But people thought he was gonna be Marvel. I even thought that. I thought he was gonna be Marvel, and but I guess he wasn't. But it turns out like he's actually the villain of the movie. Spoiler alert. Whatever. I put spoilers in the title, so hopefully you didn't click this if you haven't seen the movie. But yeah, but Jude Law, I think Jude Law's written pretty well. But some of the other like members of the group were not written like they didn't. They were kind of underwritten. They weren't written badly, but I just thought they were underwritten, or they didn't show much of them because maybe their scenes got cut, which I feel like that might be more true than maybe underwritten because for like the scenes with like towards the end with like I think it was Minerva coming in, played by what was it, Gemma Chan. Um, she said something to like Carol Dan, like her and Captain Marvel are like join each other, and she's like they're kind of talking like they know each other, and they didn't really showcase that at the start of the movie or any part where Carol was there before. But yeah, I thought they were underwritten for the most part. Even what's his name? What was his name? The guy that stands beside Ronan Guardians. Digimon's character. Man, what was his name? What was his name? I forgot. It was like Korath. Korath. Yeah, Korath was underwritten. Ronan was underwritten too, but he wasn't shown that much, and I was kind of okay with that because I thought Ronan, yeah, it's just a character. That I mean, he's not like the strongest villain, and I didn't think he should have that much place in this movie. And I thought, he's like, whatever. I just like he just comes in the end. Well, he's kind of there on like holograms, but then he comes in the end, which is it's cool to see Ronan again, but I don't really care for him that much. So I'm glad he's not too much in the movie. But yeah, and Coulson was also like we're excited to have Coulson back, but they didn't really like go through with him, and they didn't really showcase that his relationship or that much of his relationship with Nick Fury. So yeah, it's just that one scene when they're in like the stairway and he's kind of like telling the other like shield officer that like Nick Fury and Captain Marvel they went the other way. And yeah, so yeah, but I like seeing Coulson. I think they would give him a big part, especially with there being so many characters in this movie that I think they had to sidetrack some of the characters because yeah, it probably would have been like it would have been too much. There's just so many characters, and you got to focus on Captain Marvel. I thought they did like great job focusing. Of course, you got to focus on her. So yeah, but yeah, so let's go. Like, some of the CGI, of course, what I thought was kind of weak. I mean, I think for the most part in Marvel movies, CGI is gonna be great, and for the most part in this movie, I thought it was good, and I thought the space scenes were, I think, were really great. I thought like the at the start of the movie, the space scenes were really good. I thought the only one CGI thing that I just didn't like, I didn't quite like, was the CGI on the tentacles coming out of Goose's mouth. And of course, yeah, Goose is the Flurkin, which is the cat pretty much, but it's a kind of outer space cat, I guess, called a Flurkin, and the tentacles coming out of his mouth just looked too cartoonish. I didn't really like it. Just it kind of took me out. I don't know. I kind of liked it at like the first like time. The first time I kind of liked it. The second time I thought, oh, okay, well, this is getting too much. And yeah, that was like, I mean, I like cats and whatever, but and I liked Goose for the most part. He was cute. He was a cute cat, but I thought it just like they I think towards the end it was just like a little too much from him. I didn't need the second time. He like the second time he opened his mouth and the tentacles came out. So yeah, oh yeah, let's get into the one thing I don't really like at all, which is that Goose is the one that took away Nick Fury's eye, and yeah, didn't like that much. I mean, it isn't something that would downgrade my like my grade for the movie, but I just thought in like the grand scheme of things in the MCU, it's just like a poor way to show you. And I know there was some jokes going around on social media when they first showed Goose and Nick Fury interacting, that people said, "Oh, this is how Nick Fury loses his eye," and I didn't think they would go through with it. But they did, and I didn't quite like it. But whatever. It's I just thought Nick Fury being the badass he is in the MCU, he would have lost his eye in a battle. Maybe in that battle when they're on the ship, when they're when the Skrulls and the Kree are fighting. I thought that would have been a like maybe get someone to cut some, maybe Marvel or something like that. Oh, what if, you know what would have been cool? What if Minerva cut him right in the eye? I don't know, but whatever. It's just like it's kind of a whatever thing. Like I didn't like it, but it doesn't really affect what I thought about the movie. So yeah, and the 90s references in this movie, I think okay, they were good to start out with. Like with the blockbuster, I thought it was cool with her shooting like shooting through that True Lies poster stand up thing. Jamie Lee Curtis still kind of like up there. I thought that was cool. And then some of the 90s references are cool, especially when they're integral to the story, like the phone booths and all that. But it's just like some of the stuff was just like, it's just too on the nose sometimes. And I thought, okay, I know we're in the 90s. Let's just kind of, let's not shove all those references back in. I mean, the Fonzie lunchbox in that ship. I mean, really? But I don't know. But it was like it was just like, okay, I know we're in the 90s, but let's just slow down with all these references, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, and the first half of the movie was a little bit clunky. It was a little bit clunky. And I thought once it moved in the second half, I thought it got really like much more smoother, and that's when like the story kind of changed in a like kind of, and that's why I really liked when the second half of the movie got like started. So yeah, that was it for the cons. I mean, there's a few cons, but I don't think they had like there were a few, but I don't think they're really affecting what I thought about the movie that much. But let's go to the cons. I mean, let's go to the pros of this movie. And let's start with Brie Larson. Brie Larson was great. I thought she was great. So if you're like coming to this video, wanted me to gripe about Brie Larson, no. She was good. She was great in the role of Carol Danvers, aka Veers, aka Captain Marvel. So she has pretty much three names, even though like Veers is kind of like what the Kree called her. So yeah, but yeah, I thought Brie Larson was good. I thought Brie Larson really was great in the role, and it was just like, yeah, I thought she was the right choice to play Captain Marvel. And I thought, yeah, it's gonna go well into the Avengers. I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be cool. Samuel Jackson also is great. I mean, he's been really good as Nick Fury, and I really liked him in this one, of course, being the younger side, and the CGI, of course, the way they de-aged him, I thought it was good. And it doesn't really have to do with his performance, but I thought that was good from the effects team. And him and Coulson looked great at their younger style age. I mean, they kind of look the same. But they had more hair. but it was just much more cleaner. So I like that. And but yeah, Samuel Jackson was good, and his chemistry with Brie Larson was pretty good. And they, of course, were in King Kong together. Not a great movie by my standards, but I thought their chemistry probably fit well for like after them starting in that movie. And I thought, yeah, it fit well in this one. It was kind of like they're kind of a buddy cop sort of in an element. They're not like a duo that much in the movie because there's other characters that come into the movie. But I thought they like Samuel Jackson was good. Ben Mendelsohn, on the other hand, I thought is probably the standout performance of this movie, other than Brie Larson, because Ben Mendelsohn is playing the Skrull Talos, and of course, you like first half of the movie, you're thinking he's the villain, he's shape shifting, and he's the villain because Ben Mendelsohn is always the villain. He's the villain in Rogue One. He's a villain in Ready Player One. He's the villain in he was a villain in that Robin Hood trash movie that came out last year, but he was also a villain in some other movie I forgot. But yeah, I thought Ben Mendelsohn stood out, and it was really cool because it turns out, of course, he wasn't the villain. He was actually doing what he did in this movie for the good of his race, which was the Skrulls. And I thought, yeah, it was really portrayed well, and the way he acted under like makeup or prosthetics or whatever that was, that made him look so much like a Skrull, and I thought you did a great job, and probably the performance, because he's not a villain in this movie, that probably is going to stand out to me the most. I mean, I know he's been in other movies that he's been good in, but I thought he was good in this, and it's great to see him in a sort of different style role. And when he comes in, that scene when they're in the house, when they're at Maria Rambeau's house, I thought he's pretty good. And I mean, it's kind of a change in tone with his character though, because I think at that point he kind of knew that he could get Captain Marvel on his side. But I thought it was kind of a really weird shift in tone, because he was kind of like, he was almost kind of like one note, well, not one note, but he was just kind of going after Captain Marvel and Nick Fury needlessly throughout the first half of the movie. I thought Ben Mendelsohn was good. The Skrulls, I thought, played a good part in the movie. And the only thing I wish that the Skrulls, like, in end of the movie, of course, Captain Marvel is gonna find a new place for them somewhere in the universe. I kind of wish though the Skrulls found like their new place to live was going to be on Earth, because that would have been fascinating, because in the MCU, like, they could have revealed later on that they could have revealed later on that the Skrulls have been living among the MCU and among Earth in the MCU for all the movies, and well, except maybe the first Avenger, but for all the movies. And maybe we didn't know, maybe there's a character in the MCU that could have been a Skrull the entire time. But I thought it was that would have been a unique way, but what they did here I thought was good. And I spoke about Maria Rambeau, played by Lashana Lynch in the movie. I think that's the actress's name. She was good in the movie, and I love like her role in the movie. Of course, her daughter, which is I think I forgot their daughter's name, but she's in like the character in the comics is the Captain Marvel in the future, or like she'll probably maybe be the sidekick if they get when they have Captain Marvel 2, whenever that comes out. But I thought Maria Rambeau's role in this movie was good, and I thought I really bought the chemistry between her and Carol really, really well in this. Also, it was just like, yeah, you could tell these were two good friends, and I thought like, okay, they're really good friends. They really showcased well in the movie. I really liked it. And the ending, of course, was great. I thought the ending was great. Of course, with her, like, the fight in the ship was cool too. It was like, it was not like, it wasn't like, very like spectacularly like a lot of movies are, with the fight on the ship. But when it got like Captain Marvel outside the ship, when she develops all her powers and she's like glowing and she's got full power, I thought it was great. And the way like Jude Law did not like stand a chance against her. I thought that was cool. So yeah, and it's interesting that I don't think anyone really died in the movie except maybe like Marvel, Annette Bening's character. And that's also interesting because because Marvel was gonna be like people thought, and I thought it was gonna Jude Law was gonna end up being Marvel. It was actually Annette Bening, which I thought was cool, even though Annette Bening's role in the movie was kind of like it wasn't there that much. But I liked what they did with it, with the crash landing at Shaver Lake, which was like they don't say it's Shaver Lake, but it's actually up here in the mountains near Fresno, which is like yeah, it's cool to see like a nearby place be in a Marvel movie next to Fresno. So yeah, but it was cool, and the ending was just awesome. I love Captain Marvel's powers and the way it's gonna like go against Thanos. I don't, I don't know. It's like, she seems almost too powerful, like much more powerful than Thanos. So yeah, I don't know if Thanos can stand toe to toe against her, but it's gonna be interesting how they have it in the movie, and it's gonna like I think with Captain Marvel and the Avengers, I love what she's gonna bring to that, and it's gonna be cool. We'll see what happens. But speaking about Avengers, let's go to the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene, that first one was great. I thought, I almost thought it was gonna they were giving away a scene in the Avengers when Captain Marvel arrives, and it probably will be. I'm not sure because you can see like Captain America, like Steve Rogers still has the beard, and he doesn't have the beard in the trailers, and I think that part's not in the movie. I'm gonna be honest. I think that part's not in the movie. But they're gonna start it out that Captain Marvel is with them, and yeah, I think that's gonna be how it starts out because I think they had to cut that scene out, but they were like, let's put it at the end or after Captain Marvel. I thought, okay, very fascinating. Get the pager in there because I guess the Avengers found the pager and they like it's starting to like do stuff, and then Captain Marvel arrives, and she's saying, "Where's Fury?" And then they turn around, and it's so cool to see like Captain America in the scene with Black Widow, and Banner, and Rhodes, and yeah, it was so cool. So yeah, I really that first post credit scene was great. And I loved it. Second one, I can't say the same thing about it, but it was kind of cute seeing like seeing Goose spit out the the Tesseract, which was like, yeah, it's cute, but it really wasn't anything like anything special about that post credit scene. But it was cool, I guess. I don't know. It was like it's kind of throwaway, but I think if you're making people wait to the end of the movie, you might as well put the big like credit scene at the end of the movie. But I think with it, like I think they want people to see it and not they don't want people to leave. So I think that's why they put it all these like the bigger credit scenes at the in the mid credits sequence. So yeah, but this movie I really liked. I really enjoyed. I don't know if I talked about everything that was in the movie, but I enjoyed it. I think it's a really well done movie, and I think it's just a really distinct and unique origin story that they included in the MCU. And I think it works very well, and especially for women and young girls out there that are probably gonna look up to this character, Captain Marvel. I thought they did a well job, and just see it's like a character, finally a woman's character getting top bill in like or like a solo standalone movie in the not a, well it's not really solo, but she's the top bill character in this movie, and I thought it's really great to see, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10 because yeah, it's so good, and I'm not sure where I would place it in like the MCU as a whole because there's so many movies. I think this is like the 20th or the 21st movie, and it's so hard to just rank them nowadays and without having to like just think about it for like an hour. But I'll probably say it's maybe middle of the pack, but just over like the halfway point. So I think maybe somewhere, maybe like a 12th or 13th, maybe 11th. I don't know. I'd have to go over them again and do another ranking, which I probably will. So I don't know, but I don't want to go in too much. I think I've gone on for like 20 minutes now. So yeah, so I enjoyed Captain Marvel. Tell me what you thought about Captain Marvel down in the comments below. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Because I enjoyed it. So I thought it was awesome. I'll just leave it as that. So yeah, tell me what you thought below, and you can check out my channel for more I guess movie reviews like this, even though I haven't done that many movie reviews, my movie talk, trailer reactions, all that on my channel. So until next time, you folks, I will see you guys later. And I am out.